The funeral and celebration of life today for Raul Grijalva, the longtime congressman in southern Arizona, passing away earlier this month after a battle with cancer. KGUN9's Pat Paris has been field anchoring all day from St. Augustine Cathedral downtown. Pat, you were actually there for this morning's funeral mass for Grijalva. What can you tell us?
Yeah, well, Heidi, it was a moving and memorable morning here outside of St. Augustine Cathedral in downtown. Raul Grijalva, of course, a major figure in southern Arizona politics. Well, fittingly, his funeral mass today at St. Augustine was a major event. It had national, state, and local politicians and leaders saying remarks. It was also presided over by the bishop. It began with a somber moment as a color guard representing all branches of the military escorted the urn containing the late congressman's ashes. The urn draped with one of Grijalva's bolo ties. Bishop Emeritus Gerald Kakanis leading the mass for Grijalva, who spent more than 50 years serving southern Arizona, first on the school board, then on the board of supervisors, and finally for the last 22 plus years in Congress. Some 52 current and former members of Congress attending today's funeral from both sides of the aisle. We saw Democrats and Republicans, and one of the messages from Bishop Kakanis was to come together to remember Raul Grijalva and the impact that he had on the communities here in southern Arizona and across the state of Arizona, and really nationally with his environmental actions as well. And Heidi, we'll have much more on this. We'll hear from the bishop, also hear from the daughters of Raul Grijalva coming up at both 5 and 6 o'clock. But for now, from outside of St. Augustine Cathedral, Pat Paris, KGUN9, back to you.
All right, Pat, thank you so much. Well, after the funeral mass, family and loved ones made their way to El Casino Ballroom for the celebration of life for Congressman Raul Grijalva. And that's where we find KGUN9's Tina Giuliano. Tina, what's going on around you right now?
Yeah, well, around 1 p.m. these doors opened, and at 2 p.m. that's when the celebration started. And I can tell you right now, it is still very packed inside El Casino Ballroom. The line went outside the door into the sidewalk, and people were coming in, paying their respects and wanting to honor their late Congressman Grijalva. And there was dancing, music, and right now, as you can hear kind of behind me, there's a band playing, and there was mariachi performances. And of course, everybody broke bread together. We had a meal together and celebrated with other speeches from the mayor. It was just a very full celebration so far. And I spoke with a lot of the people in line about how they honored the congressman, how they said that they wanted to, they were so grateful for him being a voice for them, that they just want to come and continue honoring his legacy. And I've talked with many of the people who say they're going to stay through the end of the celebration, and the celebration ends at 6 p.m. here at El Casino Ball. You in the studio, Heidi.
All right, Tina, thank you. And KGUN9 South Tucson reporter Reina Preciado has also been following his story and, of course, his life of service for his community. Reina also joining us live from El Casino right now inside that celebration of life. Reina, what can you tell us about what you've seen all morning long and at this event today?
Yeah, Heidi, as you can tell, you really caught us at the peak of this party here in a place that's so special to the community, El Casino Ballroom. I mean, all eyes today were on events for Congressman Grijalva, including people from all over the nation, especially talking about, you know, his legacy and hearing from those high-profile speakers that we saw during the beautiful mass that just painted a wonderful, emotional picture of who he was. And the family wanted to make sure that his celebration of life, you know, reflected that same message. He was a humble man that was about his community. Now, Wednesday's mass, you know, also showed his dedication to the South Side and South Tucson community. And take a look at how many people have come out here today, many of them sharing the stories of the man he was. And El Casino Ballroom is a staple here in South Tucson, first built in 1947. It's been the place for quinceañeras, wedding celebrations, including Grijalva's 50th wedding anniversary with his wife, Ramona. Now, while this is a special venue, it isn't the largest. with a capacity of only 500. So this event was open to the public, but it is going to be a tight squeeze. So we'll keep you updated on that line from the outside with Tina over there. And like she said, this event is expected to wrap up around 6. So we'll keep you updated and we'll be back here shortly. Reporting in South Tucson, Raina Preciado, KGUN 9.